Welcome to Broad Ideas. Hi. What's up?
What is
Karen Fukuhara from The Boys is here today. Olivia was on Zoom because she had COVID.
Yep.
Just so everybody knows. Rob is here today, which is a rarity.
Because he doesn't have COVID.
Right. Okay, let's get into the episode, please. Yeah, I know, because so I told her, like, we were obviously, like, wanting to know everything about you. And when I read that her son, well, you can say, I don't need to talk for you, but.
No, my son speaks partial sign language because he's partially deaf. That's not why he speaks partial sign language, but we just haven't learned the whole thing, but we're still learning.
Oh my gosh, how old is he?
He's 5.
Wow, that's such a young age to learn. I guess kids pick up languages way faster than adults do, but I don't know.
He's better at that than spoken word.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's nuts.
It is true, though, because I was always like, why did my parents not get me speaking another language? Because you pick it up so easily as a child. And obviously for you speak, how many languages do you speak?
I only speak Japanese and English.
Well, that's a lot. That's way more than me. Yeah. But it's so cool, you know?
I love it. I won't say I'm trying to pick up Spanish because I'm just on Duolingo and I abandoned it after 2 months. But my dream is to speak Spanish. I mean, it's such a useful little thing.
Yeah.
And we live in LA.
Right.
And
you're from here, right?
Well, you are too.
Yes. And so is she.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Nice. What part are you?
Valley girl.
Valley girl?
Yes.
Valley girl.
Valley girls.
Valley
Where
girls.
did you grow up?
I grew up in Mar Vista, Venice.
Nice.
Yeah, close.
Yeah.
You guys. But LA girls.
I know.
Yeah.
We always love LA natives. We're like, oh, our people.
I know. Everyone says oh, LA native, that you guys are unicorns. But being from here, we're like, what do you mean? We're everywhere. Yeah. My friends are from LA. Yeah.
Yeah. We're
Exactly.
We're the normal ones.
Yeah.
Well, LA gets a bad rep. And
it does.
The people from here, though, are oftentimes very grounded because they grew up around everything, that they're not phased in the same way as people that move here.
100%. I always say the same thing. I'm like, I feel like we're pretty normal. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very normal.
Yeah. It's exactly how it feels.
Yeah.
So you grew up here. You grew up Venice, Mar Vista.
Mm-hmm.
Went to school your whole life. Have you lived in LA?
I never left. I went to Mar Vista Elementary, Palms Middle School, Venice High, UCLA. Never left.
Yeah.
But okay, so I just got back from New York 2 days ago.
Oh.
And I have this heavy inclination to move. I know. I loved it there. I've gone there many times for work.
Yeah.
Like a weekend here, a week there. But there's just this vibrancy to New York that and maybe it's because I've lived here my whole life.
Yeah.
And
Do it.
nothing is new.
Do it. I know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I had always felt that. I wanted to live in New York, at least once. And I got to say, before kids, before anything, if you want to do it, I say go for it. I don't know how your parents feel about that, though.
Oh, my parents do not give a shit. They're like, please leave. I came back home to live with my parents for a short duration. And my mom's like, when are you leaving? Your shit is everywhere. Mom, it's not that bad. It's just boxes here and there. But yeah, wait, so neither of you have lived elsewhere other than... But work will take you places.
Yes and no. I mean, I spent a good part of a decade in Canada and
Toronto.
Outside of Toronto, yeah.
Outside of Toronto.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And you've worked there.
Yeah,
yeah.
I love it there.
Yeah. Is that where Suicide Squad shot?
Both of them. Yeah, Suicide Squad and The Boys.
Of course, The Boys. I know, because Chase, right?
Yeah. You're friends with?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Right. Got it.
Love Chase. I forgot. That's right. He told me you guys are in Toronto. Toronto's a great city. Mm-hmm. It's like New York, but a little cleaner. But, I definitely say move to New York over Toronto.
I really think so.
Winters.
I lived in LA my whole life. I moved away for about 3 years recently, just up north. but I can say that it expanded me in ways that I did not see coming. Because I'm like, who wants to leave LA? Why would you leave LA? We have everything here. Then coming back to LA, I was like, ooh, maybe there's somewhere else for me. And so I feel like it expands you, especially, are you single?
Yes, very much
So-
single.
Very much single.
Very much single.
I want to get into it. I want to get into all of it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Very much single. I read that. Okay. We just like to jump into things. And yeah, I'm sorry. Living elsewhere. I want to farm. I mean, always something else.
Yeah.
Side note, you froze your eggs, which I love that you. No, I know. We didn't go there. Just bear with me.
Yeah.
But like, we're such advocates for that. Like, if you have the means, the capability, the ability, all of it, we could not be more supportive of that. And the fact that you did that and you openly talk about it is so awesome.
Thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah.
You know, it was a decision to talk about it. I think I only mentioned it one time in an interview, and I just always thought that it was like such an important thing. And then after I went through the process, I realized like, oh, so many of my friends that are my age or even a little bit older have never really thought about this as a viable option. And the thing is, it's time sensitive.
Right.
Yep.
And if I had the time and the money to do it 3 years ago, I probably should have done it. And maybe I could have made it work money-wise, right? But in my mind, I was like, I'm still young. I'm 29. Like, it's going to be fine up until a certain point. I just thought it would be a much easier process. And I just went through it a few weeks ago, actually.
What?
I know, like 3 weeks ago.
It was that recent?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I didn't know. Wow.
The hormones were coursing through me.
Ooh.
And it was not, it wasn't, it was hard. It was harder than I expected. And I have to do it again. And I was going to do it
again.
I was actually going to start injections yesterday for the second round.
Yeah.
But, you know, like long story short, like the timing didn't really work out. So I'm going to do it in a few like weeks to a month, 2 months maybe in the fall.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I really wish that I did it sooner. I think
that's a good message. Like if it's even on your mind.
Yeah.
So you have to do another round of it. And I don't know how much you want to get into detail or not, but I do think it's super like helpful information and being able to talk about it. And I know you mentioned it was a longer process, and I guess.
Yeah, you know, it's not, I thought it was going to be, you go in, you book your appointment, and I was waiting for the opportune time, right? I was like, okay, I'm filming here. I'm scheduling this. My friend's wedding is here. And so if I book this appointment, my initial appointment on this date, and then do the process 2 weeks to 4 weeks, right? Whatever. Perfect. But you have to think about like your body and did you use birth control before? Is that going to affect your level?
Does it?
You can still, let's say, okay, you can have an IUD in.
Right.
And some doctors that I went to said you can keep it in and still do the process. But
Really?
Wow.
But for me, I took it out just because I felt better about it. And then the blood test came back and they were like, oh, the levels are low. So we're going to have to wait a few months. And we think it's because of the IUD. And so now I'm waiting like 3 to 4 months, just waiting for my body to get ready.
Right.
And then while I was waiting, my follicle count went down. And then it's, you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. So it's really like monitoring and.
Yeah, it takes a lot more time for some people.
Yeah.
And other people, it's one and done.
Right.
You never know.
You never know. I know people that have gone 3-4 times, and it's all about like sometimes their follicles would be 2, sometimes they'd be 8, sometimes they'd be 14. And it's like just having to get it at the right moment and have your body be completely ready for that. I don't think It's amazing how you spend your whole life trying not to get pregnant. Not your whole life,
but like a good part of it.
100%.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
okay, so that is actually the mental switch that I'm having to do, right? So this time around, again, I'm pretty like full throttle when I commit to something. So like a few weeks to 3 months before, you can't have gluten, you can't drink, you shouldn't work out the 2 weeks or the month that you're doing the hormone shots. A lot of the things that it's a lifestyle thing. And at the end of the day, it almost feels like you're going through pregnancy, even though you like really don't want to get pregnant at this moment in time. And that's why you're freezing the eggs.
Right.
And then there's also like a mental health aspect to it. I definitely felt a little bit of like self-doubt. And for a moment, you kind of feel like, what's wrong with me when the egg count is so low, you know?
Yeah.
It's a mental game.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes for anything with women and their bodies. Like, I've had miscarriages and I've talked about it openly. And it's like, you feel like, oh, what's wrong with me? Or am I not? And then, I have my healthy, beautiful daughter and it was a great pregnancy and everything. I'm very fortunate, but like also going through that, you can't help but take it on in a way. And I think it's an important discussion about mental health around it and everything because.
Yeah, especially like if there are women out there trying to go through it alone.
Yeah.
And, egg freezing, if you think about it, I think a lot of the women that do go through with it are single, right? And that's why they're doing it for insurance into the future and just to have options. Yeah. You may never use the eggs. Like, that's fine. You may have a natural birth. That's great. But as our society heads in a direction where there are more working women, I think it's just great to have that.
Yeah.
It is. And I have a few clients actually going through it right now. Like I'm getting the text messages of like, this, my levels are this. And, this is something that is like really common. And what I like to say to them is your journey as a mother has begun. The minute you decide to freeze your eggs, there's a surrender that happens when you first become a mother. And that starts with freezing your eggs. You're turning over your body. You're surrendering your will. You're saying, okay, I'm open to what's to come. You have to, give over control. You have to give over your body. You have to kind of get right with yourself with those hormones. Like all of this is what being a mom is. And your journey is just starting a little bit earlier. So it's not just like a doctor's appointment. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to go do this thing. It's like, I don't know what your spiritual beliefs are, but to me, I'm like, spiritually, you just signed up to be a mom.
I am very touched by that. Yeah. That's such a great way of thinking about it because it totally is. You're beginning this process and no, it's beautiful.
The surrender and acceptance is a big one.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm like, I don't want this, but I do want it. I do want it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Totally.
Right.
That's what I mean. Like, that's the part about being a mom is there's a surrender that comes with it that is experiential. You can't really understand it until you go through it. And even in this process, I've seen so many girls go through this and that surrender starts then, whether it's, oh, I didn't get the egg count I wanted, or we have to do it again, or I didn't get any, or whatever the situation is, there's a surrender. And then it's like, once you do get pregnant, talk about surrender, you're giving over your entire body.
Yeah.
And there's very little control you have. Like sometimes even with what you eat, you like want to eat healthy or want to do this and you physically can't. Like there's just, a lot that goes into it that I feel like the spiritual lessons and learnings start that moment you sign up for that.
It's a really nice way to look at it. And also like terrifying. For some
in
people.
a way. Yeah. It is like, terrifying. It is.
Yeah, but it's true.
But it is.
It is totally. Yeah, I know.
not to scare you, but shit.
No, it is. It's true. But what I love is like the openness. And I think there's been such a nice sort of transgression of openness with women being willing to talk about all of this stuff. And we do that a lot here, like on the podcast, because this is the shit like that should be talked about, or like if people are having thoughts and just supporting that and just your journey with it and hearing. But of course, like me too, I'd be like, oh, freeze your eggs. You go in.
Yeah.
And they take them. Okay, there you go. They're yours. And then that's it. And you're like, oh, no. This is like a whole thing. And like the injections and everything, like it takes a big toll on your body and juggling that and your career and everything else.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And dating.
And dating. Yeah.
And
so
dating.
do you like, if you go on a date, like, do you talk about that stuff? Or you like open? Well, you just did it. So I don't know.
Freezing. No,
or any of it. I don't know. What do you talk about on dates?
Let's hear what you talk about on dates.
Okay. My boyfriend and my ex and I broke up last August.
Okay.
Which is mind-boggling to me because it feels not that long ago.
Right.
Anyway.
Were you together a long time?
5.5 years.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Long
time.
Yeah.
And then I realized like last week, I was like, oh my God, it's August. It's been a year.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Wow.
And I haven't really dated since.
Really?
Yeah. I have not gone on any date.
You haven't gone on a single date in a year?
No. I mean, like, I've had like a few days of a fling.
Okay.
Once or twice.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It like no real date.
Yeah.
We're into each other and we're gonna sit down and talk and see where it goes. I've never done that. I've never been on a dating app. I just downloaded Raya.
You did? And did you sign up?
I signed up.
Like you downloaded it and sign up and okay.
Yeah. But that was, I signed up like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And I haven't met up with anyone. And I'm really bad at it, right? Like it's
this is what I'm like, open it.
Give it to Rachel right now. Let's
talk
see.
to people.
I wonder if we know who you're being paired with.
I'm sure there's overlap for sure. Like, it's just such an interesting world because for me, I'm so forgetful. So I forget to log back into the app. And then by that time, they're like in Australia or something. You know what I mean? They're like gone.
But I know a lot of success stories from Riot. Like I've never been on a dating app.
Okay.
But it fascinates me. And like, I always want to see everybody else's and like swipe through because
it's so fun.
Yeah, of course I could totally get addicted to it, I'm sure. But I do know success stories from it. And I do think that it's a great way to meet people, especially when you're traveling all the time or you're working or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's actually really nice. I can't believe you haven't,
I'm a little bit
had your
shocked.
thing, but yeah.
I'm a little shocked. You're so stunning. And I mean, obviously it's not because you
100%.
Any of that. And so talented. And on your show, I'm like, there's no guys you meet doing the show?
Oh, yeah.
No. Okay. So this is another thing that I'm realizing. I have like a don't shit where you eat policy because I'm so career oriented.
Yeah.
And I've seen it get really messy and I don't think it's worth it. And you know what happened? A few years ago, I was having dinner with my manager and I was talking about relationships between actors and he asked me if I would ever date another actor or someone in the industry. And I said, okay, well, maybe someone like that's not an actor, that's in a different department. But I asked him point blank, I said, as a manager, have you ever seen two actors date or get married and it work out? And he took like a good amount of time to think about it. And he said, no. And I was like, oh my, no.
Yeah, the answer is just straight no.
No. He wasn't like, sometimes it works out if, no.
He was just like, nope.
No. I was like, oh,
wow.
That's very eye-opening to me because as a manager, you
think he would see something. This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar. I love IQ Bar's products. As a mom, I'm always tired. I like something in the morning to get me going. And guess what? Fall has never tasted this good. Their limited edition pumpkin spice flavors are back in action. Get them now before it's gone and while supplies last. Their protein-packed bars, mood-lifting hydration sticks, and brain-boosting coffee will keep you full and focused all day long. Plus, everything's ultra clean, ultra functional, ultra low sugar, and ultra delicious. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, energize larger with IQ Bar. I like to start each day with IQ Bar, especially their brain and body boosting bars, their hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. And right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. To get your 20% off, just text IDEAS to 64,000. Text IDEAS to 64,000. That's IDEAS to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to me because, like, you know that I have definitely dated actors.
Isn't it fun? I kind of want to try it.
I mean, I definitely think try it. Why are you laughing like that?
Because she's so cute. She's like, it's fun. I want to do it.
Try it.
I want
Yeah.
to
So
try
cute.
it.
You should try it for fun.
Listen, because I do have the flip side of it. Like, if you are dating someone, they totally understand so much of what,
Yeah.
you're doing, and work is obviously very important to you. And so there is that common thing, which is nice. And as long as they're like a nice actor and they're
Yeah.
not too like
Involved.
centered or
Self-absorbed.
whatever.
Yeah.
And they're definitely out there and they exist. And I just think that, I mean, look, you're young, you're single. I say try everything.
Okay.
Go on a date.
I want to.
I think you should.
I think you should. And I want to know about it. I want to know what you're talking
We want
about.
you to go on a date
No,
with.
if you guys
I
know
know.
anyone, let me know.
Oh my God. We know people. Yeah. I have some thoughts.
I have some
Share
thoughts.
off the mic.
Yeah.
It's so fun. See,
we should be matchmakers.
we really should. I feel like we need to turn this or have a portion of this podcast be just dedicated to matchmaking.
You come on and you leave with a date.
Ooh.
Broad Cupid. I don't know.
Yes. No,
Listen, I'm into this. I came to
Like
the
the
right place.
dating
You
and
really
stuff.
did. Time. I truly, yeah.
It's my
what's your
favorite thing.
type? Tell us your like non-negotiables. What are you looking for? Let's
Yeah,
right.
let's do your list.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We love this shit so much.
I love this. This is like, I need a
We
glass
want
of
the
wine.
list. I
This
know,
is great.
seriously.
I really like people that are passionate about something or like have ambition. And people that like take action from those inspirations. I don't need them to like know their life goal, although that would be hot too. But like I just can't do someone that's like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't really care about what I do, blah, blah, blah. Like I want them to, really want something and then be like, well, I'm working towards it.
Right. It's one thing to say what you want, but actually the action of pursuing it.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so in the same way, in that like world, I think I like it when guys are a little nerdy. And I'm not saying like they need to be like the like stereotypical idea of a nerd. I'm just saying like I want them to geek out over something.
Totally get
I
it.
love that.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And okay, can we just all agree that like we can't do fuckboys.
No.
We can't do fuckboys.
No.
I've never been with a fuckboy, but the idea of like dating one sounds terrifying to me. And I also am over the whole like waiting for something to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait for them to.
Waiting for a text or like, are they into me or do they want something?
Right.
I was talking to a friend recently
Mm-hmm.
and she said, if a guy is not texting you back promptly and if he's not setting plans to see you next time, out. And I was like, interesting.
That is interesting. I want to know like your definition of a fuckboy though. Like I know everyone's, but some people may like interpret it differently.
I think a
Just like
fuckboy is
that.
someone that like says yes to everything
Mm-hmm.
and is game for you and loves you in the moment, and then is also doing the same thing to other
Other girls.
people.
Yeah. Got
Yeah.
it.
Which is fine for a while, like, date around. But like, I don't love it when it's not transparent.
Right.
Like, just let me know if you're talking to another girl. That's fine. Like,
Yeah. Just being
like,
honest.
just,
like
yeah,
from
I don't want to guess.
Yeah. No guessing. How do you feel about making the first move? Even like reaching out, anything.
It's been so long, guys.
It has 5.5 years is a long time. And then a year of processing on top of that.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It is.
It's new. I mean, how old were you when you were single last? Like
Math.
I know math.
math.
Like
dude.
mid-20s.
That's
Mid-20s.
That is a
You're a
completely different person.
different human being now.
Yeah, 100%.
And you didn't have you didn't have this level of success yet. Right?
No.
And
No,
so
not at all.
coming into the world being single, now being successful, and it's a whole different thing. You have to do a new level of like guarding, you know?
Think? Oh my God.
Yeah,
Probably.
but in a
yeah.
positive way.
You're the cutest thing ever. I can't handle you.
It's so funny because I text one of my dear friends is on Gen V, and I text
who?
London Thor.
I love her.
I know.
I love her.
She's an actual angel.
Yeah.
I texted her this morning saying you were coming on, and she was like, she's genuinely the best, sweetest, most, like she was going on about you. I'm like, oh, she was
I'm so glad.
She was right.
She was right.
She was right.
Yeah. So sweet.
What were we saying?
She was a different person when she was.
Oh, you were a different person. Well, here's the thing is, I've experienced this with Rachel, is that I get really protective not just when a guy wants to date her. Obviously, she's gorgeous. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But there is a level of man out there that, like, you know, they want a little bit of that fame or whatever it is that comes with that. And
You think that's happened?
I don't think we've let that happen. But
I'm like, I can't think of anything.
No, because you haven't dated them.
Right.
But okay, so that is also something that I was thinking about, because the reason why I'm on Raya and not the other dating websites is because my friends were telling me they're gonna like screenshot your profile and be like, "Oh, Karen."
Oh, and you can't do that on Raya, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
And there's
You can't.
Okay, which is great.
Yeah, it's just a little more private, a little more protected, right?
Yes.
I hope
so. I think that is where, yeah.
But how do you differentiate, or like, how do you weed them out? How do you know?
I will say, and I was just having this conversation with someone, and I don't know if it has to do with like my intuition is super on point or whatever. No matter the person, whether it's like a romantic thing or whatnot, I can usually tell the kind of person within a first meeting, like of meeting someone. And I'll be like, you're sus. You're a good person. You're unsure. You are just an asshole. But it's just like, you know, like you can just kind of tell, or I can pick up a vibe pretty easily.
That's great.
Which I think, yeah.
I have a question on that, though. I have a question.
What?
Do you think, though, that that's played into why you, for the most part, have dated actors? Because there is a level of safety in it, knowing they don't need or want anything from you in that way.
Interesting. A lot of, actually, that's not true. A couple of actors I've dated is because we literally were working together and it just happens, right? And you hear that all the time. The co-star, whatever.
To try that one day.
I'm sure you will. It's bound to happen. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a vibe or chemistry. You're playing love interest. It's like, obviously it's very common. But I don't know that that's ever been a thought of mine, Olivia, that like consciously, you know.
Could be subconscious, though.
Maybe, but I don't know. It's never crossed my mind. It is interesting.
I like to dig at her.
She likes to get in,
to get into it.
Yeah, she does.
Get into it.
She does.
Your husband, where did you meet your husband? I would love to know.
I met him. We did a master's program in spiritual psychology.
She met him at the school.
Yeah. So I would have never
Amazing.
crossed paths with this human being otherwise, ever.
Isn't
Like
that
we
cool?
would have never been in the
Yeah.
same room.
Right.
So for me, it was about doing something different and doing something away from all my friends and my comfort zone. And the coolest part about it was I was always told, like, stop looking and you'll find him and all of that kind of stuff. And I was always looking.
Mhm.
Like, I never stopped looking. I came into this world to be in a relationship. Like, I feel like I
Me
got
too.
to Earth. I was like,
feel like that too. Like Earthside, I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I did genuinely do that for me and only me. And in that, I ended up meeting him. So there is something to that, like, stop looking and you'll
But
find
it's like,
him.
yeah, but also like taking a year where you haven't really been dating after that relationship,
Yeah.
I think is perfect, especially at your age where you're kind of just with yourself
Mhm.
and doing all those things and exploring and the eggs and the this and the work and whatever. But how cool is it to have done that? So now if you are going to date, it's coming from a place of not necessity. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know?
And there's no like ticking time bomb.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
Which totally takes that off the table, which I think is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too. And I think that for what you're looking for, I love it because there's a safety in that geekiness.
Mm.
And that's the thing, like with my husband, he is geeky and not geeky at the same time. But that was my biggest quality, is that for a man, there has to be something that I look up to in him.
Mm.
So
That we talk
Yeah.
about that all the
Respect.
time.
Yeah.
yes,
100%. 100%.
like there has to be something that makes me want to be a better person or learn more or grow more or expand, like something in them that I respect that keeps me looking up at them, not on a pedestal or anything.
No, but also excited to talk about like what they do or what they're inspired by or after. Like it's just this like
100%.
yeah, and it can be anything.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be someone's humor. It could be their, relationship with their parent. It doesn't matter what it is. They have to have something that I'm a little bit in awe of.
Yeah. Oh, that's
It's
so true.
Yeah.
That is 100% true.
It's very attractive.
I remember when I was single, I was told to make a list, right? And they said, then once you look at that list, then you ask yourself the question, what qualities of these do I possess? And if I don't, then that's my focus, right? Yeah. And so I remember watching so many documentaries because I wanted to be more intelligent. I was like, because that was like on my list of like someone who knows about everything going on in the world. And I had to be honest with myself, like I didn't.
Oh my gosh. This is crazy because I just did this yesterday in my journal.
What?
I just did this in my journal yesterday. Like it's crazy that we're talking about like point blank.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I was I had like a short stint with someone, like real short.
Mhm.
And I think he's cute, whatever. And he's cute, whatever. He's not texting me back. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not pressed. It's fine. It's fine. And he's probably gonna watch this and be like, "What the fuck?" Anyway.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
Love it.
I like. There are so many qualities of his that I find inspiring that I have or don't have at all. Like I have a little bit of it, but I like could take a step further, and I've always wanted to like amp up that side of me.
Yeah.
Or like he has a ton of hobbies.
Okay.
And I am very insecure about the fact that like all of my like hobbies, it doesn't really like exist anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I used to do
Yeah.
a bunch of things, and
Like
then
what?
like I used to do like I used to sing
Mhm.
and I was in an a cappella group, and I used to be an avid like martial artist, and then like I started working more and acting and going abroad, and it's hard with the traveling and keeping something up. And in the past few years, I was like, damn, I like really don't have any hobbies. Like, so many of my friends are doing kickboxing and surfing and skiing, and they're reading on their free time, and they're also keeping up with the news, and they have a political like view on things. And I got to a point like after meeting him, and it's not just him, it was just like and like I was in a relationship that didn't call for any of that for 5.5 years. And then once I'm out of that, it's been a year. And now that I'm going out into the dating scene, one of my biggest insecurities is like, what do you like to do on your free time? What are your hobbies? And I'm like, great question. So I wrote it down yesterday. I in my journal, I was like, this is what I want to do. And that's what I want to work on.
I love that. What an awareness. That is really cool.
Yeah, and I think our insecurities point us to our passions. And I don't see them as a negative thing. I see them as an indicator of where we want to grow. And it's not negative at all. It's like, yeah, that's great. If you feel insecure about that, then what do you want to do about it?
Yeah. The action.
Yeah.
And it's not to get someone. It's not like I want to have these hobbies so that I can get someone.
No.
Because the reason you respect his hobbies isn't because he's doing it to get someone, is because it's genuine to him.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's for me, like essentially, it'll make me feel better, and I want to feel more confident. And I also think I mean, a lot of what we do is waiting around for that yes. And I think I want to work on things that I have more control over as well. And like whether it generates money or not, like a hobby is not going to do that. But like,
no, you
never know.
You never know. You never know.
What hobbies would you do?
There's like a really specific form of ceramics that I've always wanted to get into. They're just like tiny little vases.
What's it called?
I don't know what it's called. I'm like in the search for it.
Okay. I'm like, because I'm really wanting to know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've taken ceramics classes before, and it was so difficult that I like gave up last year, 2 years ago. But yeah, there's just these tiny vases, and like you put dry flowers in them, and like that's the one I want to do. Or like guitar, piano, Spanish.
Right, Spanish. Yep.
I really want to get into like a physical sport. I love working out, but like I just want something that I could work on my own and also share it with someone. And I don't quite know what that thing would be.
The martial arts doesn't do it for you anymore?
That is like coming out of necessity, and like, yeah, I should definitely 100% go back into that. But like something else that like, a lot of my friends surf. Like a lot of my friends surf, they climb, they ski, or like snowboard.
Yeah. Does that interest you, any of those?
It does. I'm just really bad at them. Like, you know how you try something and you're like, I can do this.
Totally.
And that's never happened for me for those sports. I'm always like, this is hard.
It's really hard. It's really hard. I've tried everything pretty much. And, a lot of it like younger, like totally I'm going to snowboard with the dudes because I'm going to impress them. I must have gone a very decent amount of times, and I fucking can't do it. Like, I just can't do it.
It's hard.
It's hard. And I tried skiing for the first time like last winter. It was so much easier, but I have to be honest, I don't love winter sports. It feels a little too out of control,
The elements are, you don't know.
Yeah, it is, but my daughter's totally into it and I support it. So I'll do it, of course.
Yeah.
But it's really been coming up for me lately, this whole hobby thing, because my life is my kid, right? And like work, of course, the podcast, everything. But then you're starting to think they get older. Like, oh, what other things do I have outside of them? My birthday is coming up soon. And last night, my mom keeps hounding me like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And I was like, I remember. I want to learn how to knit.
There it is.
You guys, all I want is to, like, I am a grandmother and I am 80 years old. That spoke to me. I am so happy. And that is a hobby. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to try it.
You could totally do it.
I don't know. I'm not really good at things. Like, I'm not good at like crafty, like type things.
Hands-on things. Okay.
I don't think. I'm going to try.
Buy that for you.
You don't buy that for me? You think anyway,
I
it's
think
just
that you're
goes
going to excel in knitting.
I
If
hope
I
so.
had to pick
We're
a
gonna be
hobby,
sitting
I'd
here.
pick knitting
You would for you or for
for
me?
you.
Oh, yeah. Don't think that I'm not going to, I just spit. I'm not going to knit while we're doing the podcast because that might happen.
That would be a cute look, though.
It's going to be my
It would
thing,
be
you
a cute
guys.
look.
I
love
am
it.
so into it. It's going to be my thing as soon as I learn how to do it.
I think that would be very
I'm very
cute.
excited.
Yes. Yes. And
Anyway.
winter's coming up.
Winter's coming up. Lots of blankets to go around. Well, maybe I'll start with a coaster, but lots of coasters to go around.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
keep it small.
I like that.
Yeah, but I think that's so cool. And I love that you're like, it's important to keep your own identity in any aspect, whether it's kids or boyfriend or whatever, and have these things.
Yeah. I know my mom is really good at that. She's always been like a mother, but also like she used to like, she picked up ballroom dancing and did it for like 10 plus
I
years.
love
She
that.
competed.
No way.
Like my dad's not into
competed?
arts at all. So he didn't go to any of the classes. And she was like, well, I'm going to go. And she did it for like 10 plus years. And then it was ballet.
That's so cute.
She's like 60. And I was like,
Love it.
that's crazy. And now she's in golf.
I love that.
Good for her. What a good example.
I know.
Right?
I need to follow in her footsteps.
Yeah.
I know, but I do want to say, are you giving yourself enough credit? Because on this call, we learned how much you're working, that you were learning Spanish, that you have a history in martial arts. Like you're doing more than you realize.
Yeah.
Thank you. But
You know,
doing more.
yeah, but like, is that a thing? Like,
It totally is. It totally is. Yeah, it completely.
believe
Yeah,
that.
I'm always like, I'm not enough. Yeah.
well, that's what I was going to
No,
say.
yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
like, yes, fostering the hobbies and all of that, but also knowing like you're enough, even if you don't pick up a hobby, right? Right?
Yeah.
You have to.
I don't believe it, but like, yes, I
Yeah.
get it.
Right.
Yeah.
But you are.
Everything you've accomplished, like it's crazy. You know what I love that I read about you is that, and I don't know who you took it away, like who you took from during Suicide Squad, but like being able to have boundaries and say no. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like you've talked about this, and this is a little bit of a segue, but I just wanted to bring it up because I think it's so important. And I think especially with people who are people pleasers or, even like you thinking that you don't do enough, it kind of plays into that whole kind of world is what made me think of it.
Yeah.
And the people pleasing and everything. And I love that you were like, oh no, like you were shown that it's okay to say no.
Yeah. I don't think I was good about practicing it from that point on, but that was the first time in my life that I saw not just one person, but like several of my friends on that crew
Yeah.
practice saying no. And a lot of times it came from like, no, I don't want to. And that's all the reason that you have to give.
You don't have to say anything more.
No.
Just,
and
I don't want to.
it boggled my mind because I was always like, oh, like if I can make it work, like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I've always sort of lived my life that way. And it might come from my Japanese upbringing. But yeah, it's an interesting thing to practice. And it's good to set boundaries because then you kind of teach people how to treat you the way you want to be treated.
Right.
And then sometimes it opens a lot more doors that you want opened than like what's already in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think it's such a good message, and it's hard. I mean, it's still hard for me to do at 42 years old. Like it's just, but it is. It's like an active practice.
Yeah.
But so is like telling yourself that you're enough.
Yeah.
It's all the same thing.
Totally.
Right?
Right. Well, I do think it comes from the same place.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because someone who thinks they are enough knows that they don't have to do extra to be validated or accepted. Or I think too, a lot of times with actors that there's this gratitude for their job and for the work that is so extreme compared to other professions because the competition is so wildly insane that actors a lot of time are like anything, like, yes, of course, anything, because they're just so grateful to have their job that they bend over backwards in a way that's a little bit unnecessary. Do you feel like that was part of it?
100%. 100, and I still have that, right? I'm not getting, like offers left and right or anything, and I'm still auditioning. And so, yeah, it's a difficult thing. And we're always like so grateful for this seat at the table. So grateful to have this opportunity because we just know that like there are other, I haven't been chosen in the past. And so to be, it's definitely a mind fuckery of things. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it does something to your like confidence in a way as well. And I'm working through it for sure. I am not, perfect. And I still feel that way, but, I'm seeing a lot of my friends that are in different industries, right? Like we're entering our like late 20s, early 30s. And a lot of my friends in other industries are like, I know I'm the shit. Like, I know that I can do this case. I know that I can like perform, and they're lucky to have me. And if they don't want me, they don't want me. But I'm confident in the skills that I have. And I'm always like, yeah, you go, girl. I wish I could be like you.
Right.
Yeah. And
it's so true. It's such a fucked thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, psychologically, it does something to you, knowing there's 3 million people waiting in line. Just waiting, I read an amazing article about someone that, was told like your number X on the call sheet and that's all you'll ever be. Something along those lines.
What?
And he left and went on to create his own stuff that became incredibly successful. But the message in that to me is we can't let other people determine our worth, no matter what profession it is, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a profession, whether it's working, whatever it is. The minute we let someone else determine who we are, we suffer. And so I feel like a lot of the people that are drawn to the entertainment industry and acting or see any of these professions have a deeper need to learn this lesson, right?
Yeah.
Or they wouldn't be in this because there's a huge lesson in it and no one's immune to it.
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they are, I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's something about you're allowed to have boundaries and be humble at the same time. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. And I don't think that that's really taught. I think you're taught to be grateful, be humble, right? But how do you teach to be grateful and humble and have boundaries? But that doesn't mean you're a bitch. It doesn't mean you're difficult. It doesn't mean you're going to lose your job. And like, what does that mean if you do lose your job? Like, if we're really honest with ourselves, if we're sacrificing who we are to have it, like, is it really what's best for us? And having that faith that there's something better.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
It's particularly tough in that industry.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. We've talked about it before. It's like you always have to be like, but I'm super grateful. But that if you want to like say anything about anything, like it always has to be prefaced with that,
Yeah.
100%. Because it's such a fucked thing. Oh my God. Why do we do what we do?
But when it's great, it's great.
When it's great, it's fucking great.
The highs are high and the lows are low, I would say.
I know. It's so true. And it's so hard. And this whole like new world of like the self-tape and the this and the that. And it's just like, it's weird. It's like you guys, it's like so the future. And it's just robots because you don't talk to anybody. You don't hear from anybody. and you just send things out into like the etherverse. Is that what it's called? Etherverse? I don't know.
Into the ether.
I don't know.
Into the etherverse.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm off on a tangent. You got to reel me back
No,
in.
I like
Love
it.
it. We love it.
Let's
Yeah.
ask some fun questions.
Oh, let's do it.
All right, you go first, Lou.
Okie dokie artichoke.
Wait, how did you two meet? Can I ask?
Valley girls growing up. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like since we grew
Not-
up together.
No work or anything.
no.
Oh my gosh.
No,
Okay.
like,
Wow.
yeah.
Like high
childhood friends.
school.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so
Mhm.
cool. Okay.
All right. What would be your death row last meal?
Ooh, I know, baby. I love a sea urchin and sushi all around. That it would be my sea urchin. My mom's home cooking. She makes some like bomb dumplings, and she does this, like sour plum chicken wrap thing.
Yum.
My grandma makes this like really cool egg roll. I think those are.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite sushi in LA?
Yeah.
Or is it a secret?
No, it's not a secret. My family friend runs it. It's called Masakazu. It's near Westwood.
Oh,
And it's a tiny little hole in the wall, but
love
like
that.
cute. I think it might be like an 8-seater. It's phenomenal. It's really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to know. Love that.
Got to try that.
Who do you think is the funniest person, alive or dead?
Ooh, alive or dead?
Yeah, anyone.
I've been loving Ali Wong and Tiffany Haddish. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I love their.
Tiffany was on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
we got to get her back.
I know.
I saw her. I obviously watched her Netflix
Yes, yeah,
specials, but I also went to go see her live, and she just is. She's funny, but she doesn't. She's positive,
Yeah.
right? And she doesn't like make jokes out of someone's expense, which I respect.
Right.
Like I think that's really cool for
That is cool.
her to do. Yeah.
Agreed.
I love
Good
that.
choices.
Is there one thing you wish you could tell your younger self?
Do it now.
Mm.
Yeah. And it rings
Surf?
true.
No.
Surf. Literally surf. Play the piano. No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like if I bought a guitar when I was 18 years old, it's still collecting dust, and I've tried to pick it up many times.
Guitar
over
is
the
really
years.
hard,
It is. And so
in my
many
opinion.
people make it look very
So
easy. And I
easy.
just
Do you have small hands?
I do have small
Me
hands.
too.
I have small hands.
It's
yeah.
hard.
I know it's hard.
It
It's hard.
is.
It's hard. I actually I think I have to get a smaller guitar. It's like this.
I got like a 3-quart. My daughter
Yeah.
took up guitar, and I'm like, I'm going to learn with her. I still haven't.
Yeah.
Same thing, but yeah.
But is it smaller? And it's
Yeah.
smaller?
Get a smaller.
Okay. I'm gonna get a
That's
smaller
my
one.
advice. Not that I've done
Okay.
it, but
But yeah, do it now. Do it now. Travel the world.
yes.
Pick up a hobby. Do
Move
it
to
now.
New York.
Move to New York. Do it all.
What's something people would be surprised to learn about you?
Ooh. I was trying to think. I feel like I'm pretty open. I'm pretty much an open book. So
Yeah.
it's hard to find
Not many
something.
surprises.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
think,
do. I'm the same.
when I was a kid, I used to be really incredibly shy.
Really?
Yeah, incredibly shy.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think my dad talks about this proud moment that he had.
Aw.
He said, one time we went to a restaurant and it was with all his coworkers, and I was really young, probably like 2 or 3 or 4. And he said, I just like said hi to everyone on my own, and I was like, hi, and introduced myself.
Aw.
And it sounds like such a
No,
small
I
thing, but
totally get it. It was a big moment.
yeah, it was a big moment for
Good for
me.
you.
Yeah. And
That's really sweet.
I think growing up, I think I'm more extroverted than introverted nowadays.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know when that switch happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if like working or, just having to be,
Maybe.
I don't know, meeting so many people. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. Okay. You ready for this one? You're going down for a murder you didn't commit. You have the
Ooh.
chance to frame someone to get out of it. Who do you frame?
Oh my goodness. Who do I frame?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
That's a hard one.
It is
could-
hard.
could
I don't
be a
even know
really
what I would
dark-
say.
That's a dark That's dark.
It's so dark.
It's dark.
It could be like, you could do like an easy out, like a fictitious villain or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
or a real person.
I mean, if it was on my show, I would probably like film or not film. I would probably frame Homelander because we want to take him down. But if it was me in real life, I think I would plant it on my best friend because she's a lawyer. And I'd be like,
So she could defend herself?
yeah, I'd be like, you can get out of it.
I know.
But if you could go on one reality show, what would it be?
There was a show called Terrace House. It was a Japanese reality show, which looked fun. And I think there's some like Korean ones that are really cool. There was one where they like go on an island and like it's very
like Survivor-esque.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I could see you like totally doing and winning.
I think I'm really bad. I'm not competitive at all, like whatsoever. And so I wouldn't be good on those reality shows where I have to like genuinely fight another person in order to get what I want.
Yeah.
I would just like back out immediately. I'd be like, oh, I don't care.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Same.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
I'm like, go ahead. I'll take a step back. You're good.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
You go
don't
for
like
it.
me, it's cool. Like,
Yeah.
go ahead. Get on the next train. Yeah.
Oh, I can't. I can't talk.
Or Love is Blind.
Oh,
I don't.
Oh, hey.
That would be so cool.
I love watching it.
I know.
I love
Going
watching
on
it.
Are
I
you
don't know if
kinda
I'd be
curious?
good at it though.
You'd be great at it.
I will.
You would
see.
ask really good questions, I feel like.
Yeah.
I would be like coming in with a notebook of questions.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
So fun. We had
Yeah.
so much fun having you. Thank you
for having
for
me.
coming and being
Beautiful.
here with us today.
Yeah.
We really
You're
appreciate
the
it.
best.
And Lou couldn't be here, but she's
I know.
at least you're
I
on a
know.
computer.
We will have to do some like girls' night or something.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We
Yeah,
need
and-
we need to keep us oh my god, I
What
can't
was it?
talk.
Broad Cupid. We got.
Yeah, it's like we got
Oh,
this.
we gotta go.
Love is Blind, but you'll like set me up on a.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about Love is Not Blind?
Love is not
Oh,
blind.
it's not
Yeah.
blind.
Yeah, because we can see it and we're gonna share it.
Love
here.
with glasses.
Yeah.
Love is for
My
with,
glasses.
what are they called? Binoculars.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, you got to just cut me off.
No, we have to do a girls' date just so we can go through your writer.
Oh my god,
I'm
so
into
fun.
this.
Yeah, we have to hear how
Do
it
it.
pans out.
Let's do it. I wish you were here right now. We could do
I
it right now.
know.
on my phone.
I'm jealous.
I know. We love
It's my favorite game.
It's our favorite. We're like, let's see. Oh my god, it's so
Yeah.
much fun.
I do it for my friends because it's like low stakes
Yes.
when you're
Right, of course. If it's
Yeah.
not you, you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
totally.
Keep going. Yeah.
Bye.
But you know who your friends would yes and no. And then you have to talk them into some. You're like, hold on, hear me out.
That's you. She's always trying to talk into.
Yeah.
I need this. I need this.
All right, I'm gonna stop us now. I mean,
right,
I'm gonna
stop
stop
us.
recording.
Hey.
How much did everybody miss Rob? Please respond in DMs or comments on Broad Ideas Instagram. Thanks.
You want me to?
Respond?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So much.
On a scale.
How much did you miss us?
So much.
None.
No, but like honestly,
You love coming
yeah,
here.
you love us.
Yeah. I was busy, so it
The
wasn't
enthusiasm. Do you love us?
so much.
Okay, can we talk about something really quick?
Always.
Are you guys familiar? Are you familiar with New Guard and Old Guard?
What?
Yeah.
Like a mouth device?
No.
New,
like
new guard and old guard?
Yeah, it's a terminology for like when people don't want to see you kind of like change or grow or thrive because they've known you for so long. It's called Old Guard. Like they're the old guard trying to keep you the same. And then there's people that come into your life that are more,
Like one is silver, but the other's gold.
you know? So then there's New Guard where people are like, hey, open the gates, New Guard. But the Old Guard is like, no, got to keep it the same.
Where did you hear these terms?
George Griffin.
Oh. And what was the other one you heard from him?
Cuckolding? Is that it?
Cuckolding?
Cuckolding.
That's like when you watch your partner.
Rob knows that word.
Do you like it?
No, not for me.
Do you like it?
Do you like it? Okay. Do you have any people in your life that are old guard?
Explain it to me again.
Yeah, I'm still not really fully following.
Like an old friend?
No, it's not about being old friends. It could be old ways of thinking even that like just don't fit with the new version. You know, because we're always changing and
Yes.
growing and people kind
For
of
sure.
want to hold you to a standard of yourself that you may have used to be. So even if you're doing something different, they'll be like, no, you are this way. And you're like, but I'm not anymore. Like I've changed or grown, but they want to hold you to a certain way of being that you used to be.
Right. People that keep you small is what old guard is.
Well, and to keep you in your original,
original.
carnation
Exactly.
of what they knew you as,
Got it.
and aren't supportive of your growth. I mean, is it always negative, or is it just like you could have a childhood friend that like
It's not always negative. It's just old guard.
that you like click into and like
Yeah.
we feel like kids again when we're together?
Yeah. And sometimes I think that you also revert back to old ways of being when you're with those people because you're like, this is the dynamic we formed. So when I'm with them, I click into that.
Well, or like your family and siblings.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you kind of click into old guard.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
What does it look like?
I don't know.
What does it look like when you guys are all sitting in your parents' living room?
We don't do that.
We stand.
No, everyone's like kind of spread out, so that doesn't really.
Ever happen?
There's not
You guys don't do family gatherings,
Holidays?
like holidays and stuff?
No.
What? What?
I don't understand.
You know, I don't go. Everyone's in Chicago. We don't go back during the holidays.
Why
Ever?
don't you go back during the holidays?
Never?
Jesus loves you, Robert.
Just traveling during the holidays with two small children to then like
They
I
come
get
out
it.
here. Your parents come out.
the parents, but not like
The whole
I'm
family.
saying
Why don't you invite the whole
Why don't-
family?
Yeah.
they won't come out here.
Why?
Some of them can't afford it. Some of them, they don't have places to stay.
You
like,
wouldn't fly them out as
And
like a
host
nice brother?
fly out 30 people.
Are there 30 in your
I mean,
immediate
each family is.
I think you might
4
need to go to
kids.
Chicago. I like going to Pittsburgh for the holidays, and we've done it the whole time
Cozy.
with, it's like cold
But
and it feels like, you know,
Everyone's married with kids, so they're all like splintered off to. Even when we were there this summer, like people are far away, and not everyone's coming together at one time. And holidays is the same, where like my sister's at her brother-in-law's house instead, or my brother's at his wife's house. So it's
Your brother, wait, at his wife's house?
at his wife's family's house. Like it's not that everyone's coming together.
it's her house. Let's be clear.
Yeah. So yeah, no, we don't ever have like everyone's back together.
Okay.
Do you?
Yeah, totally.
But they're all out here.
all my family or all my friends or what?
Family. We're talking family, right?
She has them
Yeah.
all over.
I have them all over. Yeah. But then we'll go to Jeff's and do his family too. So we usually break up either Thanksgiving, Christmas, or switch off or have them all here. It will be people everywhere, sleeping everywhere. Like,
Cozy.
yeah.
I mean, you know, our move for the holidays is go up somewhere that family's not.
Yeah, you
We'll
like
take a trip.
Texas
We go
or
to Texas,
whatever.
go to Seattle. We go see friends, but we sneak away like on Christmas Day when travel's not crazy. Which I don't know if we'll do that again because getting back from Seattle like right after New Year's was a nightmare. The airport was insane.
The airports are next level.
Yeah.
So do you have old guard or can you identify it?
I'm having trouble with this one.
You are?
Julie, can you explain it to me again?
Kind of.
You have different versions of yourself, yeah?
Sure.
Like through the years?
I just don't understand if it's like pinpointing people that old guard you
Well, it's both.
or if you are
It can
old
be
guard.
both. It's both.
Yeah, I think
That's why it's confusing.
Like, for instance,
let's remove, I think you're mostly thinking of like a toxic version of this.
it doesn't have to even be that toxic. It can just be they know you a certain way and they still hold you to that. And you're like, but.
Mm-hmm.
Well, or it can be a fun thing that you like click into how you were as a teenager when you're with someone and they bring that out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you have that?
Do you have anything?
No,
Do you have anything?
I've got
for us?
nothing.
Anything to contribute?
I think the word for it, for both of them, is weird.
It's like,
Because guard is in the word, so it feels closed off.
yeah, but
It's a medieval term, I think.
it is. It's like,
So it's guard as in like watchers,
yeah.
Right. I know.
not guard like.
I know that. And I
in a
knew it was
basketball.
like guarding. Yes, I understand. But I'm just saying, hearing the term, it doesn't make you think of like
It just
positive things.
It breaks your brain.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's not negative as much as it is old.
Mhm.
You know?
Old guard.
Old guard. To me, it made sense. I was like, oh, that's a great, like, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can be like that sometimes with my brother, where it's like my bratty side will come out.
Mhm.
Or,
100%.
you know, like I'm holding him to a version of him that I knew growing up and not really giving him the benefit of the doubt that he's evolved from that.
Right.
I think it's really easy to happen with siblings and family.
100%.
Like I think it's a little different with friends because you guys have seen how you evolve and
Yeah,
you probably know each other at a more personal level too than even your brother.
for sure. But we've also, the thing is that we support each other's growth and help each other grow versus, I think because we're with each other so much, there's no space for the gap where it's like, oh, you've changed. That feels
Right.
weird
It's
to
like
me.
when you're with
You
your
know?
kid every day and other people see them after a while and they're like, oh my gosh, they grew. And you're like, really?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd also guess you guys kind of grew together in
Yes,
the same
that's
direction
what I'm saying.
because
Yes.
if it was
Yeah.
a friend that you were growing apart, you just wouldn't keep those ties and they're just not in your life anymore.
There
But
are
with
friends like that.
but
There are
you have
friends like that for
siblings
sure.
that have to be. So
Right.
no matter how you splinter and root off,
Mm-hmm.
you have to still have them in your lives.
But also, I have friends that I've like not parted ways, but like just aren't in each other's everyday life. And they're not going to know me in the way you do.
Right.
But they know the old version of me, and it still feels good to be around them because it's like you remember who you are with those people. And you're like, oh, yeah.
Old guard.
Old guard.
I'd written a list of things, but they all feel so old now. This is like 3 weeks ago.
Old guard.
Old guard.
With your old guard.
So Vinny has been noticing cameras and devices all over the place, and
Because you have a lot in your house.
no, like when we go out places, like Maru's got cameras in the corners, and
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
he gets like very anti-surveillance state, and like
I'm sorry.
calls it a robot, and then says he doesn't like it, and then
Aww.
like he's pointing out the cameras at like a restaurant. He's doing the same thing too, and he started turning around like our Google devices in the house too that have screens and cameras
What?
because he doesn't.
He knows something we don't.
This is some past life shit.
Yeah, where he's
guard.
like, I don't want this.
That's old guard shit. That is like past life CIA operative, not going to get me,
Yeah.
spy baby
Yeah.
shit.
He's onto some shit.
He's onto something.
He's CIA.
And then he also, because I take him to Maru every morning, and we're waiting for our drinks, and they'll yell out like people's names that are getting drinks before us. He started yelling them after the barista.
That's cute.
So he'll just start yelling people's names.
Like what? Show us.
We just be like, Jenny. They'll yell out like Jenny for a coffee, and he'll just
It's really
be like,
cute.
Jenny, 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 Jenny.
Ew.
Makes everyone in the coffee shop laugh. when he
That's
does.
really
He'll do it
cute.
like 3 or 4 times too before our drinks come out.
Aw.
Does he get a drink?
No, he'll sometimes they've got little water cups that are like mini coffee ones, so they've even got like the little lid.
So he gets a
With
water.
water.
Yeah,
What about frothy milk?
Do you give Briar stuff when you
Does he not
guys
drink
go
real
get
milk?
coffee?
He doesn't normally drink real. I mean, he will though.
But I mean,
We
is
don't
it
buy
like
real milk.
it's like oat
He's
or
got
something?
oat or soy
What?
or.
Do you buy Briar stuff if you go to get coffee with her?
Yeah, of course.
I know.
What do you get her?
She loves steamed milk, and she puts raw sugar just a little on the top. That's her favorite. Yeah. Everything at Starbucks, because like we'll go to Starbucks, like almost, not everything, but almost every drink has caffeine. Even the fucking like lemonade, whatever.
It does.
Yes.
The acai one?
Yes.
Oh, you have to get it without the acai.
Whatever.
Just the
or
pink
like
lemonade.
the dragon fruit lemonade,
Yeah.
like which you would think, like, why is there caffeine in that? Anyway, I have a frustration with that. 'Cause
Yeah, I
it's-
don't-
It's
They don't get drinks. Like they'll occasionally get to pick out like a pastry, but I don't open that door of
Yeah.
him expecting a drink every morning when we go there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem in my life.
They get something. Oh,
They always want
yeah.
cookie milk.
How many?
What's cookie milk?
Just chocolate milk. I just get them like a kid's cup of chocolate milk, which is not great, but they make it like half the dose, whatever.
How many times have you gone for ice cream this week?
Actually, I haven't gone to ice cream at all this week.
About last week?
Last week.
I can't even remember
we
yesterday.
We went to Salt and Straw. It was really
What's
good.
your favorite flavor?
There?
Yeah.
You know what I got? I got like this was a weird pick, but it was like a roasted peach, white chocolate something.
You have me at roasted peach.
Yeah, it was really good.
I love a roasted grilled anything peach.
It was delicious.
Really good move.
I like
Yeah.
Salt and Straw.
I like Salt and Straw
I don't
a lot.
love ice
There's one
cream.
right around the corner from our Airbnb.
They had some banana flavors though. It was like fried chicken.
They go
something.
all
I was
out.
like, why would anyone want that?
Did you try it?
No.
Did you know McConnell's was doing a See's Candy collab?
Yeah, I had it.
Oh, all of them?
Yes. Yeah. Are you crazy? Yeah.
Okay.
How many times did you go to ice cream by your Airbnb?
Just once.
Okay.
I went on a, sorry.
Yeah, no, do it.
No, I was just saying sweets. I went on a baking frenzy, but that's
Yeah, I
not
saw that.
interesting.
What did you bake?
Briar was homesick for a 3-day weekend, and I went ham on
You
the
made
baking.
ham.
You baked a
I
ham?
baked a ham. No. I did this banana bark. I'm calling it banana bark.
Do you still have some?
I do. You need to try it.
Okay.
It's so good. Banana, peanut butter,
Yes.
chocolate, sea salt, frozen. Amazingness.
Where'd you get the recipe?
Yeah, was this from a
Instagram.
recipe or you? No, okay.
I get everything from Instagram. I baked 2 different kinds of muffins. I baked vegan, gluten-free cookies.
Do you still have that?
These right there
Oh,
on the table.
I didn't know.
Anyway, I made 2 different soups, a chili. I mean, it was all cooking and baking. That's all I was doing because I was just home. It was very lovely. Shortbread I made.
That's a really, I really like how you entertain yourself and do that.
It's very, I love
know.
it.
It's like you're,
That sounded kind of condescending.
I don't
she's being
mean it.
oh,
I know,
brownies.
I know.
I
but
made
it
brownies too.
Sounded
Sorry.
a little bit.
No, I'm like, I wish
it's
I
like-
would
yeah.
even, doesn't even occur to me to be like, oh, we're homesick. I'm going to bake,
We were just home.
Yeah.
It's my favorite hobby.
It's a great
Love it.
hobby. I want
Love
to eat
it.
your hobby today.
You may eat my hobby every day. You were going to say something when I interrupted about my baking.
No, I was just going to ask if you get a cone or a cup when you get your ice cream.
I
really
get
wanna
a
know what
regular
Rob does,
cake
too.
cone. I don't love ice cream, but if I do, I get and I have to get a kid scoop so there's not too much ice cream so I can get to the cone faster with the cone ice cream combo.
That's what I do too. I do waffle cone with
Oh, waffle. Kid scoop.
as small of a scoop as possible. It really throws them off because when we go with Vincent, at first he was just eating the cone, but then he wanted ice cream. And I don't want a real scoop in there. He makes a huge mess of it. So I just want to the top of the cone filled. And they just don't know what to do with that usually. I'm
Yes.
like, just
I'm always like, too much.
yeah, tiniest amount of ice cream just so he can eat the cone and have a little bit of ice cream. And they were like, it's still a huge scoop on top. They just are so confused by it.
I liked that place we went to
Where did we go? When?
that day that we,
Oh, Handles.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Handles
good.
is good ice cream. But if I really get down, I like, you know it.
A banana.
Yeah. Well, at 31 Flavors or Baskin Robbins, it's called a Banana Royale because it's like a banana split, but it's in a cup and the bananas are cut up.
But that's what you got at Handles.
Yeah, I had them make it. I talked to them about it.
How did that talk go? So at 31 Flavors, they do this thing.
I had a whole conversation. It was delicious.
You guys, Shepard did his first. I could die. He did his first homework yesterday.
Did you help him?
Yeah, but he did it.
Aww.
He did his homework.
I meant like, did you do it? Because normally.
No, it was just like tracing.
Yeah. He did his
it.
homework.
Yeah. It's a big day.
That's a big
and
day.
then he got his first wiggly tooth. I was like, you are
Big
growing up. Big
day. Aww.
You've watched The Boys, right?
Yeah.
You haven't?
It's really good.
I don't watch anything, so it's not anything
I
personal.
mean, it seems personal and like you don't watch it.
I don't watch anything.
Okay. Well,
Except
everything
Instagram.
We were going to have a... Have you watched the new season?
Not yet.
It's good.
Is it?
It's fun, yeah.
It's a good show.
It's a great show.
Have you watched Gen V yet? Do you like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're making a spinoff, too, with Aya.
Jeez. Cash?
Aya and Jensen Ackles. They're
Dope.
doing Stormfront and his character.
That's
They're
so
like
cool.
prequel story.
Okay, love
All
ya.
right. It's
See
been
ya.
real.
Gonna go old guard some shit.